Okay, it's a new day out here. Got kind of late last night and the battery was running low on the camera, so we'll just pick up where we left off. We got the 4 transfer holes drilled from the door panel into the door itself. All of these holes are basically going to be perpendicular to the metal that they're going into. So for example, this one that's closest to the outside of the door, pretty much going to be at a 90-degree angle, or parallel to the ground, just kind of straight in. Now these right here going to be at roughly 15 to 20 degrees upwards, and that's for the 3 basically from the middle all the way to the inside of the door. So here's the little clips that I have. These are just little push clips, little square drive, little press pins kind of things. I'm not exactly sure what the proper name of them is, but this is what I'm going to use. We'll drill out these holes, we'll pop those in there. So you can see here has a little bit of an undercut on there. So I'm going to measure that. And it's looking like showing 305 thousandths. That'll show up without a glare. So I'm going to go find a drill bit that's close to this size. Since it is a square drive, I'm going to have to use a file and basically cut the corners out of the hole to make a square hole. So let me go get a drill bit. We'll drill out all 4 of those holes, and we'll get a little file them square, pop our little pins in there, and we are just about finished putting this door panel in. Okay, I went and I found my drill bit. Fractionally, it measures out at 19/64ths, and decimally, that's roughly 292 thousandths. So we'll punch out those 4 holes. Then I got a square drive file, and we'll just do this manually, make some square holes, pop our pins in place. Alright, that looks pretty close. So let's get the calipers. We'll measure that out, see where we are. I'm showing 294 thousandths that direction. And again, that's 295 in that direction. So, got a little bit more to do, a little more filing, but we're real close. Okay, that's good. It's a little bit loose, but it's not gonna pull out. So all those little clips are installed. We really just have one more thing that we need to do. It isn't necessary, but I'm gonna go ahead and do it. So let's go over to the table with the door panel, and I'll show you what that is. All right, the very last thing I'm gonna do is put this weather strip adhesive on the very edge of the door panel. And like I said, this isn't a necessary step, but a 10-foot roll of this stuff is about $5. So the cost benefit is there. You know, just to kind of seal this up, keep some a little bit of road noise and some air if you got any holes or openings, gaps, stuff like that in your panels. So this is roughly 3/16 of an inch thick and about 3/8 of an inch wide. So like I said, I'm just going to put it around the very, very perimeter, trying not to leave any that overlaps. I don't want to have any of this stuff squishing out, but just right up to the edge and then the whole perimeter of the door panel. Okay, there's one last thing that I did forget to mention. My door panels did come with some hardware, these screws that are intended to go down here in the bottom. Now these are like a number 10 or a number 12 screw, but they're not really factory original. So I ordered up some more original type screws. These are smaller and they are a bit of a countersink. You can see it's got this kind of countersunk washer on there. So we could just put these in place, but they wouldn't be countersunk, and you can see it's kind of dimpled in that area, so we can drill that out. The diameter, at least at the very top, is about 358 thousandths, but we don't want to drill that. Then the screw wouldn't hold the panel in place. So we'll go just below that, and we're looking right about 300 thousandths. So I'm going to use the same drill bit that I used to drill the holes in the steel door, that 1964 drill bit, which measured in at 292 thousandths, and that should be good for recessing our screws in the panel. There we go. Alright, just a few last minute decorative items. New window crank lever. There we go. Alright. Okay, I'm all finished. Now, what's the bottom line? Well, I'm happy with it. Like I said, I bought these on eBay. I spent just shy of $200 shipped to my door. I think it was about $190, something like that. But for door panels that come with padded armrests and kind of a complete unit for less than $200 for the pair, I'm happy with them. And I've showed you that they do have their imperfections, and I hope I've demonstrated well enough how to at least mitigate those imperfections or correct them and make it look halfway decent. Now, I'm not going to call out the seller on eBay. You can just type in C10 door panels and you'll be able to find them. Because I don't feel like they sold me a defective product. I mean, I saw the price, and I've done this long enough that I pretty well knew what I was getting into, that they were going to be import parts. That being said, if you're like me, if you're just having fun in the backyard, just building a nice little cruiser truck, there's nothing wrong with these. For the money, you'll be happy with them as well. If you're building a full-on show truck, you have got to stick with OEM parts or NOS parts. The import stuff it's just not that good. I mean, like I showed you, these doors, they are repops, and besides the fact that they didn't have these mounting locations, the rest of the door is not perfect. It doesn't fit very well to the cab. It's, you know, so if you have good parts, if you're building a truck and you've got good original parts, I would say try and stick with those. If your door panels are still pretty good, you can get just the padded armrests. These are torn up, they usually are. Just order new armrests. You know, sand down the panel. You can paint it, you might be able to dye it. You can certainly have it upholstered, and it'll fit better than anything that you're gonna buy. Likewise with the doors or any of the body panels. Both of my doors, the reason I bought new doors is because they were pretty badly rusted out down here on the bottom. In retrospect, I wish I'd just gotten the patch panels and fixed that. That would have been easier to correct any imperfections in those small panels than it would be an entire door. So again, like I said, I hope I demonstrated this well enough that this is something that you can tackle, and I'm happy with it. So it is what it is, and I'm happy, and I'm hungry, and so I'm going to take the truck and go grab something to eat. So I appreciate y'all watching. If you haven't subscribed, please subscribe.